Welcome back to That's So Vegas. I'm Christine McKellar, and I'm here with the Stuart family and also some representatives of the Ronald McDonald House Charities. It's a personal family thing with me. This is my stepdaughter and also my demi-granddaughter, Addie. And we had a shocking, I'll just recap real quick if you missed the first segment. A week before Addie's first birthday last January, she had a seizure and was diagnosed with cancer of the brainstem. So we talked a little bit about that, but look how healthy and happy Addie is. There were some adverse side effects. Would you want to? But also, we'll talk about that. But then the progress.
Yeah,
there's been just so much
amazing.
progress,
Yeah.
and she is cancer-free.
Yay.
So how you two fight it over? You're married. We're just going to sit here and listen.
So when you're talking with the
Make
doctor.
sure sorry about that.
When you're talking to the doctor before the surgery, he tells you that to get the cancer is the most important part, but with that, they have to be a little more aggressive. And in the process of them resecting the whole tumor, her nerves were damaged, her 5th, 6th, and 7th nerves, which affects her swallowing, her hearing, and her eye wasn't blinking properly. I'm a pretty positive person,
Yes,
and so when I heard that she had cancer, I just thought, we'll just get through this and get back to normal. The first day of heartbreak for me was she had to have some procedures done that day. And just one of the technicalities was she had to have a hearing test so she could have a baseline of knowing where her hearing was. And when they came back, they told us that she had permanent hearing loss in her left ear. And for me, that was the first time I realized we're not going to walk away from this without some damage. And it was a pretty heartbreaking day for both of us.
And then just after after they removed the tumor, she had to learn how to sit up again. And I remember the first time I saw her, she didn't look like my little baby.
Actually, I think Scotty has a picture of that maybe showing
Yeah.
of how she spent her
Right,
first
right.
birthday
But
in the hospital.
Yeah, she spent an ICU on her first birthday, but we had a little party for her there. But they just where she came from, where she is now, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So some of the other things, so
Yeah.
her eye wasn't able to close properly, so they needed to sew it shut. And
Oh,
so we'll wait a few years, and we're praying that those nerves will come back and they'll open it up, and then
You must have both been exhausted anyway. Just the stress and the C word scares the
Right.
living daylights out of anybody.
Well,
but
yeah.
so of course to hear that these other problems were going to come along with it. I know that you've made great strides because we were all concerned with the swallowing. Addie couldn't swallow. She either lost the ability or
so the nerve was damaged,
The nerve was damaged.
and then in the process of her not using it, then the muscles aren't working right yet.
Correct.
So she has progressed. She's almost back to normal. She can't drink liquids yet.
So she has a feeding tube.
She has
is
a
that
G
correct?
tube.
Yeah.
She has a G tube.
But I remember we were all at the beach a couple weeks ago, and I
Right.
saw her eat strawberries. I
Yeah.
started
Well,
crying.
that's her
I was
favorite
like,
food.
loves
Yeah, that's her favorite. I know. Well,
get you some
and
after
now
the
we just
show.
love. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
She
heard it.
Yes,
Right.
she
Yeah,
heard
she
the
did.
word.
She heard strawberries. Yeah, you love those. Those are your favorite, huh?
Those Can
Yeah.
you want to say it in the microphone, strawberries?
Strawberries?
Well,
Yeah.
So her
There we
her
go.
newest advancement is that she's been walking about the past 3 weeks
Yeah.
or so, and
Oh,
that's a great
fantastic.
thing.
Right.
Oh boy,
So-
in time for her second birthday.
Right.
You have to make up a big
know.
party. Huh?
So after her tumor resection, though, we did go through radiation and chemotherapy. So she's 3 months out of chemotherapy. You want to
Come
see?
see your Jenny Graham.
Come see your Jenny Grandma, because I'm clapping for you.
So on those hard days again, another one, that, like most people that have cancer, is when she started losing her hair.
Well, look how it's grown back.
I know,
Yeah.
it's growing back.
Absolutely.
So she had a
adorable.
lot of long hair, and
She was born with a head full of hair, so her hair was like her signature.
Like your
Huh.
hair.
But,
Huh,
yeah,
like mommy's.
we have a lot of hair.
Let's go see Mom. It's poker. Whoops, there you go.
Good girl, Addie.
Yeah. She's a big girl. She want to wear my scarf. Well, it is always good to see progress, and of course, the good news is she is cancer-free. You had
She
your
is
last
cancer-free. We
radiations.
did, and we had an MRI a couple months ago, and no sign of the cancer. So
And another really super blessing
yes,
is that Addie has a brand new baby brother named
Yep.
Jackson,
Yep.
who's here in the studio, but unlike his
is.
big sister, he's sound asleep.
yeah, he's sleeping.
We're not going to pick him up and shake him
Right.
and wake him up or anything, because
Yeah.
that would be a little too distracting. But
So amidst all the
Were you scared?
turmoil, we found out we had a great blessing, huh? We
So,
had-
but weren't you a little nervous being pregnant again? I mean, wondering if perhaps
Oh
it
yeah,
was a
I
gene-
in fact when I did have the ultrasounds, I'd always when they're checking the head, check the brain, check the, but I mean the likelihood of that happening again is
Right.
probably not, likely, but you just
Please.
worry,
Yeah.
and that's one thing I did want to say that no one is exempt from this. If we ever, this can happen to anybody, and it just happens. It happened to us overnight. And that's why we are so grateful for the Ronald McDonald Charities.
Speaking of which,
Yeah,
I'd like to
just-
introduce right now, we have right here to my left is Missy Chick, Allison McCarthy.
Yes.
And they are both local Las Vegas representatives of Ronald McDonald House Charities. So you have a personal story, I know, that touches upon the same subject. Do you care to share that really quick? And
So
again, we're
many
speaking-
parallels here.
Yeah.
My niece was about the same age, little blonde curls, and started with the seizures, started with the backward progress, went in to find out that she had a tumor wrapped around her entire spine and had probably been born with it, and it took a little while for them to detect. So, the G-tube, losing the hair, the surgeries, all of that, you go through that, and you don't take those clear MRIs ever for granted. You don't take any test for granted.
I
and
love that you said that. That's very important for everyone. You really, and I think you found in your walk, and I have a family member who has cancer. You really have to manage your own care. I mean, yes, we have the doctors and everything, but you, as you did, I know you did, you're the trooper. You stay on top of the medications. You've really got to know what's going on. So your niece today, though,
20 years old, 21 years old, and in college, and I love sharing that in deep remission, and just she's our little miracle.
congratulations.
Yep,
Yes,
a little
to your
miracle.
niece.
That's amazing.
And she stayed at the Ronald McDonald
She
House.
stayed in she
Did
stayed at
she
several
really?
Ronald McDonald houses along the way.
Back in the day.
Back in the
and
day.
you weren't involved with them.
I
You
wasn't
were
even
probably
involved. I was a
child then yourself.
volunteer. Nope. I was a volunteer though, and so they spent, in fact, a Christmas at Ronald McDonald House. So you know how they do the holidays
right.
up.
They always make
so
sure everybody
It was a blessing for them, and it sounds like it was a blessing for you.
Yes,
extremely.
and another wonderful outcome. That's a real praise. And so, what about you, Missy?
Well, I
Here, you take the microphone.
Yep. I'm scooching here.
We're having so much fun. We're a little short on microphones. But that's okay.
That's
so.
okay. We're a close family.
we are.
Yes.
Yes.
We
See
are
that.
a working family, but we're also, just it feels like family at the Ronald McDonald House. So I have actually been with the Ronald McDonald House Charities here in Greater Las Vegas. We were just saying it's coming up on 4 years in December,
Wow.
and I do the marketing and the special events. So I get to do the fun aspect
Yeah.
of it, of raising the money and making people aware of what our organization is and what our mission is.
And you do a run too, don't you?
We sure
Because
do, yeah.
She's a runner.
Okay, well, good. because
Before
then-
this last pregnancy, I
There's
was.
hope. Well-
But I'll be back. I'm
Well, it's
coming
a
back right
5K,
now.
so it's it's a pretty small run,
Yeah.
but it's a very family-oriented event, and we actually do that. And our date this year is April 16th. So so we
We'll
do
be there.
that.
We'll be
okay,
there.
good.
He'll run us
Great.
first.
And again,
5K,
this
right?
Missy and Allison are from the local Las Vegas chapter. You were up in Salt Lake, but on the break, you know the same people.
Yes.
Yes.
Because of course you're friends with your friends within the corporation and everything. Wow, this is going fast. I'm going to have to take a little break here.
Okay.
We'll be back with more of the good news and more about Ronald McDonald, the girls, and Addie, who's obviously going to be a great social blogger. Well, Daddy,
She
She
already
knows how to
is.
swipe and everything.
Daddy's good at
She
it.
already
Quick
is.
shout out to the Red Roof Inn. Thank you always for sponsoring my show across from the Hard Rock Hotel on Paradise. We'll be back in just a moment.